Oh, I'm recording right now. Yep, Chris just clapped.
That was a terrible clap.
It was an acoustic clap.
Welcome to another episode of the Pop Punk Pizza Party podcast, brought to you by www. Way too many W's.
There's
The
only
Barn.
Jesus.
BetterHelp.com/The Barn. Fired. Deep Space Studios. And we're here. I'm Justin.
I'm Keith.
I'm Chris.
I am Todd.
He's got elbows today.
I had elbows last week.
Yeah, but they're not functional.
They were more incapacitated. I still have not good elbows, but they're better elbows. So.
He had a couple solid
And
90s
he
last
loved
week.
his service at the hospital so much that he went and got a job at one. Or
Sure
at the
did.
same one.
Yeah, those elbows are almost back to working shape.
They're getting close.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
You changing out bedpans?
Just at my house. I mean, but that has nothing to do with my injuries, just the way I
I
live.
thought you were going to say my
Yeah, I
headphones.
mean, no. Sometimes you don't want to get up.
I have to get up and go over there. No, I'll just
Feel that.
on my bedpan.
Why not just wear a diaper at that point?
Because then somebody's got to change the
'Cause
diaper, and then you got to stay in it.
That's your fetish. And
Man, when I go through the store and I see them people buying Depends, I feel fucking terrible for them. That's got to be awful.
well, hang on.
So
Because
I was at the store the other day, and we were looking for pull-ups.
Yeah, that's right. You worked at
And
Yeah.
I think it was Jordan or Cove. One of them was like, "Why is there a guy on the diapers? Like, like if they're an adult?" And I'm like, "Well, it happens."
That's
but-
grown man panties, son.
Yeah.
I had to take diapers away from a man in prison once because true story. I had to make a no diaper sign.
I don't think I've ever started off a more interesting story than that.
Chris, my prison stories are.
Oh, I bet you got great prison stories.
Did you work there, or did you?
Yeah, dude, I was.
Okay.
I was a supervisor there too, and everything. I was a sergeant. I worked at the prison for 6.5 years.
Well, I just didn't know, where your stories came from, inside or out.
Well, in prison you can get a mix of both.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet
Between the
that.
military and prison, I got a lot of stories.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet that Keith's Walmart stories are just as wild as your prison stories.
Oh, my Walmart stories are pretty crazy.
I want to hear your best one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just anyone.
Oh,
A
just
good one.
Walmart
A
story.
good
My,
one,
So
yeah.
my daughter will hate this, but I mean, we figured out she was lactose intolerant this day, I think, because we were going through Walmart, and she's like, "Mom, I just sharted." And then, and then the whole store, like we continued. We changed her, right? But we continue to keep going to the store, and she's telling everybody that she sharted. She's like, I sharted.
I meant more like stories of other people, not.
I don't know. That was the first thing that
kids
came to my.
No, let's hear more stories. We could.
But
look
yeah,
this
dude,
up
my
when
kids
she graduates or something.
my kids will give you
Graduation
tons of
party.
stories. Yeah.
All
Walmart
about
stores.
sharts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Half of them.
I don't think Cove likes sharts as much as Jordan doesn't like them anymore.
I mean, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do your kids love sharts?
Like now 0. They don't.
Do they like when you do it?
I don't tell them.
What was the worst shart of your life? I had mine about a month or two ago.
Like my personal one. Oh man. I had to be. Probably when I was in a car and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get home. And then I'm like, I'm gonna relieve some of this, and then boom, there it comes.
I've got a terrible chart story.
I just
Let's hear it.
All right, so at my last job, doing that marketing, advertising stuff, I had to go up to Granite City to Weber Chevrolet, and at the time they were having construction on their building. So across the highway, they had their
Weber here.
Yeah, right. No, so they had their service center across the street, across the highway, whatever. And I was meeting my boss up there. We had to picture like just as many cars as we could, basically. And I get there at like 9 a.m., just before 9. I pull up, and as I'm pulling up, I feel I got a fart. And so
Never trust it.
I had no idea I was having issues. So I let it rip, in the car. And I'm like, immediately, just,
yeah.
you know.
That's not supposed to be like that.
Age 30 and up, I feel like you just have to clench your ass cheeks every time
dude.
you're about to fart. Just
I'm
in
an hour and a half away from home.
Yeah, that's yours is worse.
In this, they have all the new cars that they just got in. That's what we're taking pictures of. And I go into the service center, and they don't have like a regular bathroom. They have like a porta potty, but it's not even really a porta potty, and it's on like this platform, I guess. No way to wash your hands. And it wasn't like a big mess. I mean, most of it stayed between the cheeks, whatever. But anyway, so I get in there, I drop trowel and I look down and I'm like, oh fuck. So I wipe it as good as I can with the dry towel, and then I proceed to get into 50 cars and picture. Literally, I spent from probably 9:15 to 1 p.m. picturing 50 cars, and every time I sit down, you can. So I get done.
You stanked up 50 cars.
Yeah. So I get done with these 50 cars, and my boss knows what's going on. I mean, I was vague about it, but I think he got the idea. And he's like, hey,
Oh, there it is. I've been trying to push this button for 2 minutes.
he's like, you want to do some more? I'm like, boss, I want to go home and take a shower. Like, I want to get the fuck out of here, And so I left and drove an hour and a half home, chapped cheeks and all.
Oh, man.
And then jumped immediately into the shower.
I think yours has got to win. I don't even know anybody else because you had to. You started work that way.
I don't have a short story, but I had a quick Walmart story. So I worked in the maintenance department for a short time, and we had a new guy that we convinced to refill the water fountain.
Was it, so really this was Justin was the new guy.
No,
And
no. I did the convincing.
Really, I'm shocked. I would love to meet this person, honestly.
surprise.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
There's
Right
a
out of
there's
He's
a
still
good
there.
prank you can do to people, like if you work at fast food.
Yeah.
You have like those walk-in freezers.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if someone brings their jacket, say, hey, I gotta go to the freezer. Take their jacket, hang up their jacket, and take like a little spray bottle. Every time you go in the freezer, just spray it down real quick. And every like 30 minutes or so, be like, oh man, I go, make up an excuse to go to the freezer, kind of spray it down. But in your shift, it's just gonna be solid layers of ice on the thing. So that's a pretty good.
Terrible, but that's funny.
Yes, it is quite hilarious.
Yeah, you just put it on an ice jacket. That's tough. And it's got to be cold outside because they wore a jacket.
Correct.
So
Yes, and it's
Oh,
like
man.
a double whammy kind of thing because you have to wear your jacket because it's cold, but hey, you're gonna wear an ice.
you're
jacket.
gonna get colder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We got to warm up your cold heart
but
with an island song.
think about this backwards. If it was a hot day, that would be a nice gesture for somebody.
But why would you have your jacket on a hot day?
You just left it there from the last cold day.
You wouldn't put it on, though.
Like for like,
Or
I
you
guess you would if it was.
Or you
fucking
brought it
frozen.
with you because you're like, hey, I hope somebody douses this with water every time they go to the freezer.
I mean,
I
you
hope it
can
turns
do it.
winter.
Well, yeah, you can do it yourself, but it's nicer when someone else does it for you.
I mean, I think it's funnier when someone else does it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but wow, that's a good prank.
So Keith, how was your week?
I was, my week was shit. Is it over already? My week?
Since last week.
I don't know.
Since last.
I don't know. I feel like I just worked. I just worked a lot, but I also didn't. Oh, we went Halloween treating.
Trick or
Halloween
treating.
Trick or
Trick or
treating.
treating.
Yeah, that was dope last night. That was some good stuff.
It was cold as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went trick or treating. Cove was Bumblebee. Jordan was Wednesday Addams. There was a lot of cute costumes from kids. I thought that was neat.
50 Michael Myers.
I saw a really good one. It was a grown up, but it was a really good one. And the kids were like, didn't want to walk by him because it was across the
I
sidewalk.
saw an Amogus.
I don't know what that is.
The Among Us, like
Oh, Among Us. I thought you said Amogus.
yeah,
He
they're-
did
they're
say
called
that.
Among Us.
He did say
They're
that.
called. the
Oh,
Among Us,
okay. I didn't know that.
So those little weird characters are called Amoguses.
apparently.
Amogai.
It's plural Amogus, Amogai.
Amogus.
You are the imposters.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a few of those. Shit. I don't know. But yeah, it was fun. It was just cold. And then what I do? Fuck, I don't remember this week, to be honest. Yeah, it was just a lot of work and and nothing. I didn't do anything. Oh, Cove and I went to the arcade last Thursday because
What arcade?
well, I call it arcade. It's the Family Fun Center in Bonne Terre.
Yeah.
So
That place is dope.
Tiffany and Jordan went with my sister and my sister-in-law, and they all went up to Limp Mansion to ghost hunt. So Cove and I had a boys' day, and we went. We raced some cars in the thing. Obviously,
Obviously.
I won.
Well, you didn't come in sixth.
No, I didn't come in sixth. I won.
Did you pretend you were Jeff Gordon?
No,
No.
no.
Dale Earnhardt?
No, I did not.
Danica Patrick.
No, I wanted to finish the
He
race.
was Ricky Bobby.
I was Ricky, but always Ricky Bobby.
You're not first, you're last.
No, I'm Tyler Reddick.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that
He's
is.
my favorite.
Is he a
course
race
he
car
is.
driver?
Yeah, actually, this is an older one, so I was
No, he
Denny
plays
Hamlin
ping
in the
pong.
game. I
Oh,
was,
this
I
was
was
the
Denny
game.
Hamlin. Yeah, it was a game.
Oh, I thought you meant like the go-karts.
No, we were gonna do
and
them,
you're
but
just
we
like-
ended up not. Yeah,
You're
this is
just,
like a
passing
simulator
your
thing.
kid, like over and over.
Oh, I would. Like, you got to learn how to lose, buddy.
Yeah, I feel that.
So we did that. That was a lot of fun. And then, shit, that was all we did that night. And then we went to sleep.
Hey, man, sleep is awesome.
It is. I slept a lot last week, I think.
I don't get to like do it ever, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I fell asleep in the doctor's office earlier.
Man,
I was just sitting there, and I was holding my phone, and sometimes I'm just like, whoosh. And you should see the words that I type out. I've been like typing papers for school and shit. And then
Yeah, I forgot you're doing a master class for
yeah,
business degree,
I
right?
am, but I'll be sitting there typing a paper or whatever it is, and then I'll look at the screen, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Doesn't look anything like because I fell asleep.
but publish it.
Next time I'm gonna be like auto publish.
Get your sources and then publish it.
So I might, but that was my week. How about you, Chris?
Let's see. Friday we set up at the East Side Food Truck Park.
I was there.
I came and got a pizza too.
Yeah, you both showed up. Where were you, Todd?
I don't.
I got that cake too. That cake
was
was
this?
fucking good.
Oh yeah, the mini cakes, the white. They weren't
Yeah.
quite mini. I mean, that's enough.
Oh no, she couldn't even close the box.
All right. Yeah, so we had a good day out there. It was slow. It was the first day out there. It was cold. I mean, it was pretty cold that day.
It was. Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
You know, compared to what it was.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, so yeah, we did that. We had a good day there. We went Saturday. Justin and I went out back to the East Side, and
Saeed. Yeah, I saw all the food you got, and I was like,
Yeah,
why
it
the
was-
fuck didn't you stop by and give me any?
it was
knows how to
it was
treat a gal.
it
That's
was
all I
it was quite the food truck buffet. We got ribs from Mike's barbecue and custom meats. We got I got this incredible smoked cream cheese brisket and egg, and I think there might have been bacon on it sandwich.
Yeah, there
and
was.
then what'd you get from them? You got the pineapple.
Yeah, I can't remember what
The
it's
chicken-
called.
it was-
Casey's?
It was a spicy like chicken.
Yeah, chicken, pineapple,
like, Hawaiian
jalapeno.
burger.
Yeah, Hawaiian
It
sandwich.
It was hella good.
And then we went to the lunch lady.
oh,
I
we
got,
got some
their.
burnt ends from him too.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, those were.
That was Casey's.
Yeah, Casey's.
Yeah, Casey's cooking.
And then we went and saw Tom and Julie over at the lunch lady, and we got.
That's good shit too.
I got their big bacon cheesy burger with pico. Justin got. What'd you get
Chicken
from
bacon
them?
ranch tacos.
Oh yeah, chicken bacon ranch tacos.
sounds
Those
pretty
were
good.
Yeah, they're killer. And then we got some fried pickles.
Oh, I love fried pickles.
Yeah, they were
Man.
incredible.
So did you guys go down Karsh at any point? I was wondering why you didn't
actually,
stop
no.
by.
I mean, I went and picked up Justin, and we basically, I mean, we went over to Cold
He
Jack's.
woke
and then,
me up.
I was just wondering why you were like, I gotta.
He's like, we're
Dude,
going
I wonder
east
if
side. I'm
I
like,
wonder if Keith
oh,
wants
okay.
this.
You know, we ate it all. Actually, we ate about half of it, and then
What's up,
we
man?
have a
rest
Brandon
later.
Warren in the house.
What did,
Warren, I
what
can
did you
never
just
say
say?
it right. Warren.
You need to
Hey,
practice
you
his
said his
first
first
name.
name right though.
Brandon.
Wait, what?
Brandon.
Brandon.
No, I got it legally changed since the last time we visited. Just a
Oh, okay.
Good
We're
idea.
also
How
we're
come his mic
forcing
picks him up from
we're
all the way
forcing
over there?
Justin to hold
I don't
Go
know.
grab the last 2 slices of that pizza, my guy.
We
We'll
took,
yeah,
we took
so-
his stand away
We'll
today.
finish our week or our recaps, and then he can.
Yeah. So
on in.
you got anything else to say except for just not like
No, I didn't finish there, but yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I went to Gordon's Stoplight Cafe on Monday.
So I like Gordon's a lot.
Gordon's is
That's that place in Festus.
I think
Yeah.
I think Rich is
Yeah.
just closed, but across the street, Rich's frozen custard,
right behind him. Yeah,
best. But like it's even better.
you think so? I
Oh
don't
man, I
think so.
love that place.
I don't think so. Like they have a lot more variety, and they have
So-
really good stuff. I mean, their stuff was very solid, but it wasn't. Their burgers don't compete with Gordon's.
I think they do because their bacon is next level.
I don't
and then
get bacon on my burgers.
oh, okay, well,
Burgers, man.
but man, Rich's is so good, and then their fried chicken with the gravy. Mm-hmm. I mean, they fry it right there, bread it right there. It's
I've been
so
wanting to try that cheesesteaks. It's
that's-
it's Gordon's. Well, Gordon's used to own it.
yeah. I don't know who owns it now, but it used to be really good because I worked in
Steaks are
Festus
always
for a while. So
Yeah,
Even like a bad cheesesteak is a good cheese.
not always.
I've had some bad cheesesteaks, but they were still good to me.
I've never had
They
a
just weren't as good as the other ones.
so that cheesesteak place is great. I'm sure they haven't changed.
I've not had it yet.
anything.
I want to. I want to try that.
Yeah, just get that with the cheese whiz.
Did you ever go to Pedal and Pie over there? It's like a wood-fired pizza and bike shop.
No, no, I'd never even heard of that.
So yeah, it's like 2 doors down from Gordon's, and like going up towards
Yeah.
Festus, Main or whatever,
Yeah.
like Main and Mill.
I try to stay away from Main Street a lot
Yeah.
because it was always crazy.
But they've got this giant brick oven, and the guy kind of runs the bicycle side. He's like a bicycle enthusiast, and then the wife just competed in the World Food Championships last year.
Really?
Yeah,
How the fuck did I not know that the whole time?
yeah.
Yeah, I need to go there. and
They
get
do
a new bike.
sourdough brick oven pizza. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot
Yeah,
one
Todd
day.
needs to go there to get a new bike. He's
Bike and
Hey,
pizza.
they do sell training wheels. I mean,
I got downgraded back to training.
They have seatbelts.
So Todd, how was your week, man?
I got my cast removed.
Sweet.
So I don't have like full mobility, but I have a lot more.
So no more Toddcast.
So Justin's arms can rest soon.
Well, there's other things that won't be on him. So I still have a rash. I still have a rash from those casts. Other than that, man, I don't know. I don't think I did anything. The trick or treating is probably the best trick or treating ever of all time.
You had a good time this
Oh
time?
my
Did
God.
you dress up?
No,
What was Nolan, right?
a ninja for
Ninja.
some reason.
Nice.
But he was a
I
dope.
mean, why not?
Well, he bought a real sword.
Oh shit.
oh, nice.
So it was dope because he just ran around with the sword, but he was so polite. Like, to
Well, that's
everybody.
good.
Yeah, using his manners.
Like, will you please let me cut you?
Yeah. Give me the full size candy
He
bars.
was telling everyone like
assassinate
jokes. Like every house he went to, he told everyone jokes. And
Nice.
He would get, like,
Oh, that's awesome.
He actually filled up his bucket. We had to get another bucket because
Really?
he filled up his first one. So we got like 1.5 buckets.
You know, that's actually a St. Louis kind of style tradition where like they go and tell jokes to get candy and stuff. I found that out recently.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like anything St. Louis.
Yeah.
Hey,
love
pork
St.
pork steaks are pretty good.
Is that ice
Pork
cream
steak-
cones?
Yeah, pork
The only
steak
thing I'm
comes from St.
porking
Louis.
is Justin's mom.
She-
Make
hey,
no
hey, hey,
mistake.
she did come for my cake the other day.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
She got your meat too.
Did your mom listen to this podcast?
I hope so.
She does sometimes.
I know my mom does not.
I'm gonna send her the link.
Oh, do it. Yeah,
I tell her to check it out every week, like I tell her.
yeah, but she won't listen to you. She'll listen to Todd or Chris.
I post.
Oh,
like, hey,
actually, my mom says that Todd's hot, so
Oh, Todd is hot.
You may not need those elbows for a while, Todd.
Yeah.
if I play my cards right, Justin.
Just start calling him dad.
Yeah, dude, I could be your stepdad soon.
Oh,
Man,
man.
I get to ground you and spank
Me
you.
and-
This is gonna
Oh,
be awesome.
goodness.
me and Nolan would be brothers at that point.
Yeah, he can teach you things like how to read. And
Vocabulary. Oh,
Dude,
man.
my kid's wicked smart. So
Anything
Well,
else?
your stepkid is not.
soon to be step.
Well, we're going to start doing it right now.
Hey, Justin, how was your week?
Well, I didn't get shit on all week until now, so
I bet you did.
it's been all right. No,
You did in the
Thursday
chats.
I thought we were gonna do the radio, but apparently we're taking a couple weeks off. So, I finally made it over to the Park Hills Underground for open mic and karaoke.
So when you say do the radio, you mean at the Park Hills Underground, their new radio
no,
station?
no, Beyond FM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Beyond FM. We do the radio show at Pops every Thursday, and we're taking a few weeks off of it. So I ended up going over to the Park Hills Underground to do
Underground.
karaoke. I didn't do the open mic night part.
Oh, what'd you karaoke?
Um,
Give us a taste.
well, I entered in. The thing was there were so many people that were doing it. Everybody only got one turn.
What was your turn?
He did Gundam style.
I
again.
actually did. I actually
You said
posted
Gundam
a cover of it recently on my reels.
of Gung. How do you say it?
Gangnam Style?
No,
Gangnam.
Goddamn style. I think.
No, I did. Fuck off. Duncan Lawrence.
What?
It was I don't even remember
Donkey
the
and
name of the
Lawrence?
damn song. It's a newer song. It's
It's the guy from
Shrek.
Shrek.
oh arcade. No, arcade.
Arcade Fire?
No, the song Arcade.
By who?
Duncan Lawrence.
I don't know Duncan
I
Lawrence.
spend all of the love
There he
I
is.
saved. You were always a losing game. You haven't heard that song before?
Oh,
I've
it's like a
heard that song.
TikTok song. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that's
that
where
makes
I've heard it
sense because it's mainstream.
Oh, it's not a real song. It's a TikTok.
It's a TikTok
Well, I had a
song.
couple
Okay.
pop punk jams in there too, but I didn't get it around.
Oh, what were those?
And so, I was gonna do "Dirty Little Secret." I was gonna
Yeah.
do that one. I was gonna do a. I can't even remember which one. It was an All American Reject song. I can't.
That
remember.
one was an All American Reject song.
There was another one.
Why would you do 2?
I don't know. I can't.
Why would you do 1?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I like the All
I mean, I like. Okay, so
Man, I saw them in 2016. They opened for A Day to Remember in
that's
Blink-182.
wild.
And it was
I saw them in Nashville with the Get Up Kids, Newfound Glory, and Starting Line, and I did not stay for the whole All American Rejects because I like that first album is
the one with
swing and shit. It's like front to back. It's so great. Then I didn't really care for much after that, but you know,
you know, a sophomore album I did not like
what's that?
was the second brand new album. Was it Deja Entendu?
You didn't like Deja Entendu?
So I like The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows.
Yeah,
it had
obviously
some
it's
good
fire.
songs.
And I liked that Sick Trance of Gloria.
Oh yeah,
And I think the wire here is a little short.
and I Believe You,
noticed that.
but Tommy Gunn doesn't.
No, they got really weird, and then like everything after that was just really weird.
It was weird, but I liked
And,
it.
Well, I guess for me it's because it's like you had like Jude Law and A Semester Abroad. Yeah, that first album was just
Yeah.
like so pop punk. I'm like, okay, yeah. You get
Yeah,
it.
it was a drastic
And then
change
they
for sure.
changed, and I think for me it was the time that
Yeah.
they did it.
I get that.
For the time I was, like the age I was, and where they went to artistically, didn't fit my life. But like,
feel that.
so like Thrice, the more I've grown, and that's where like Thrice to me, like kind of, the more I grow, the more they kind of grow, and it fits.
Yeah.
Like it has always fit my life.
I can see that because that's how I felt about Fall Out Boy. Like when
Yeah.
Infinity on High, even I was like, this is not where I wanted you to go.
After Take This to Your Grave album, I'm just like, no, I'm done.
Take This to
they
Your
started-
Grave cannot be beat.
No,
The
it
thing
cannot.
is once they made it back into Save Rock and Roll, it was a completely different sound. So I associated it as like a completely different band almost at that point. But I still like the sound. It's just a different sound to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I almost kind of separate it as like if I'm in the mood for, pop punk emo shit, then I'm listening to the old stuff.
yeah.
But if I'm in the mood for the more newer style,
I think
rock
there's a lot
sound,
like
then
that.
I'm
Finch-
listening to the newer stuff because I still love. the
Well,
newer
Finch was also one of those bands.
Finch
Their-
also
their
did that a little
sophomore
bit.
album was really weird.
Yeah,
had,
Say
like,
Hello to Sunshine.
Yeah, they had like Worms of the Earth for the Underground, or not Underground, the Underworld album or
yeah.
movie soundtrack.
Yeah,
Then after that, it was just everything was just real weird. Because they were like really pop punk. They tried to go like almost like a weird Deftones kind of sound.
it was.
Yeah.
It took me a while to really like even get through that album, because I was like, there's a few because I wanted something like What It Is to Burn, like that style.
So finishing my recap.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. That was Thursday. Friday, I went out to Chester, Illinois, to the St. Nicholas Landmark restaurant.
Santa Claus.
St. Nicholas.
Yeah, that's Santa Claus. You're saying it like I'm wrong.
I tried
Chris
St. Nick
Kringle.
loaded fries.
Hey, he still believes.
Who doesn't?
I do. No, the St. Nick loaded fries are amazing. But anyway,
I
I
did
met
not
the
know he
Souls
cooked.
Paranormal team there. Fuck you.
He's more of
I
a
met
ham
the,
guy.
The Souls Paranormal team there that did the paranormal
Yeah.
investigation with me at the Underground.
Yeah, I saw your scary balloon video you put on.
Yeah.
That was just one sneak peek. But anyway, so we did another paranormal investigation. We got a.
You know what?
It wasn't as exciting as the Underground, but we got some pretty cool stuff.
So I fixed Jason's phone the other day, and we were talking about this.
Oh yeah.
I believe him a little bit. I still don't know if I believe you,
Whatever.
but no, maybe he says he's heard some stuff, and I believe him for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still on the fence. I got to see it.
So outside of that, I was there until like 3 a.m. I made it all the way back from Chester around like 4:30. Went to bed, and then I got woke up early by Chris to go to the food truck park.
He acts like I was banging on his door. I sent him
Yeah.
a text. Like I just messaged the guy, and he's like, "Oh,
woke
hey."
up, technically.
Did
I was gonna roll back over, but he said
but he was there.
he said food. He said food. So
I was keeping him from falling off the bed.
Oh, nice.
and oh man, it was,
was the
such
big
good
spoon.
food. We already talked about the food and stuff like that, but I went right back home and went back to bed again.
So did you see Popeye when you were in Chester?
Popeye the Sailor Man.
No, the
Is that what he
statue.
sounded like?
Why has
No,
he
it
been-
was nighttime.
Has he been smoking for 40 years?
Ever since the show got canceled.
Popeye's gone down.
No, so I didn't actually go into Chester because the landmark is like right there across the bridge.
Okay.
Once you cross in from St. Mary.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, I didn't really go into Chester. I just went right across the river.
Oh, okay. You saw
It
Santa
was
Claus, but
nighttime anyway,
not.
and it was like pouring down rain. So,
Oh,
yep.
Well, our guest is finally here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hey, how's
Hey.
it going, guys?
Yeah. Chris, he does talk like you.
Oh, he does.
Brandon
The
Warren
levels are the
from
same.
the Artisan Inc.
That's me.
shop.
Yeah,
how's it going?
going good. How are you guys?
Good. How was your week, man?
Well, pretty uneventful. I guess since the last time I saw everybody, but Todd who stood us up. It's fine.
Yeah. I was heavily medicated.
They said, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah, it would be a perfect time to come to the shop and hang out.
Well, I was kind of like stuck.
You could have got your cast tattooed.
You signed my cast.
We're full service there.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll do it. No, not that.
Happy
oh,
ending?
you said full service. I mean,
This isn't meatloaf, okay?
I love Meatloaf, not the singer.
Oh, I love the
Food.
singer.
Yeah.
Not
I
the
don't like
food.
that ketchup bullshit they put on
Yeah,
top.
ketchup.
So I like that.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's got to have a good glaze.
Yeah.
The glaze of
I'm
what?
sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, we're going to get distracted in
No,
the middle
it's
of any
okay.
conversation here.
Yeah, so Friday was pretty low key day. I also dropped in to Chris and got one of the sandwiches that he's been talking about on the show.
That's
for-
that's
Yeah,
what
how
I
was-
got.
Yeah.
How was that?
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
dude.
Was
killer
it? Was that the
sandwich.
high stakes?
That was the high steak.
That's what I got too.
High stakes
Oh
was what I
man,
got to man. Yeah. I scarfed down that pizza and that sandwich
wild.
in like 10 minutes. Well, it was right during I was still working and I only had a few minutes, so I got that.
Were you
food,
working or
talked
you
to
only
Chris
had a
Oh,
for
few
minute,
minutes?
And I scarfed that shit down. Anyway, back to Brandon.
Anyway, I worked at the hospital over the weekend, and then didn't really do much for Halloween. I mean, my kids in high school, and it was pretty low key. We grilled at the house for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Halloween,
There you
and,
go.
And then played Uno for the night, so that was
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Like,
Awesome.
Yeah, I took my
Hey.
kiddos out for Halloween. Grayson was a. I missed this on the recap. Grayson was the Ender Dragon from Minecraft, and Leon, my younger
don't know
one,
what that is.
was Chase from Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. I know that one.
He wanted to be.
And I know
Rubble,
Minecraft, but
couldn't
I don't
find
know
the
what-
costume in time, so I had to get.
I've never
Chase.
seen a dragon on that game.
Yeah, I've seen my kid.
The-
beat it.
when
There's
you go
some
to the
kinda-
Underworld.
you have to build some kind of.
I've been in the Enderworld,
Or
the
the
Underworld,
that's-
Ender.
That's
fucking
a game I
place.
just don't understand. It's just like virtual Legos. I don't.
Yeah, it is.
It pretty
So-
much is, and it's a game that never ends.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
no way to win
You can
it.
beat
Yeah.
the end dragon and win the story mode or whatever, but it still.
Oh, really?
continues.
I've
know
wasted
that.
so many hours building stuff with my kid on that game.
So yeah,
Same.
my kids started
Same.
playing it, and then my kids at work started playing it. So I downloaded it, and I'll build some stuff for a little while, and then I'll quit.
Yeah, I
and
get
then-
bored of it real quick. Like
and
I'll
then, yeah.
start working on something for like an hour or play with my son for like a couple hours, but I can't do it more than that.
I just play Doom or Fortnite.
here's the irony of games like Minecraft and stuff like that is, it's simulated manual labor, right? Like
Yeah.
the kids endlessly,
Yeah.
endlessly for hours will dig and build and
But won't
craft.
clean up their damn room.
Right?
I swear though, my 5-year-old is so impressive on that game. I swear he's gonna be an architect or something. When he
Yeah,
gets older.
definitely.
Hey, maybe that's
Sorry.
it. Maybe we're gonna have a generation full of architects.
Architects and engineers.
Anyway, I think
Yeah.
you were making a point though, right?
Oh, sorry, we distracted you again.
No, not really. No. It's like it's like the kids that would rather watch other kids on YouTube open.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
one of
that's
those.
wild. I have one
You know,
of two of those.
Hate it.
So, it's just a different world. But I think it probably appealed to Justin. Like
Oh yeah.
simulated actual labor, but
No,
he has
I
Ryan's. He has every season of Ryan's World on DVD. Brandon, you were the one who also did Chris's tattoo, right?
I am the one that did Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's show the camera that tattoo. They've already
Which
seen it if
camera
they've
we,
been following, but
The upside down.
Just swinging around.
Yeah, I can't really turn it
Could,
that
could
way.
you just go ahead and
Yeah, I
detach
feel
your
ya.
arm and
I
send it
feel
down
ya.
this way?
Right? Yeah, here you go.
so
It looks like you're doing good on the aftercare stuff.
Yeah, I actually forgot to put the A&D ointment on it before I came, so it's looking a little dry right now. But I've been taking care of it, keeping it clean.
Well, that and the scabies,
Yeah, the
so-
scabies. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'll get you.
So you've done some other work besides just other tattoos, obviously, but like other artwork as well too, right?
He's done a couple.
So I would say, as far as tattooing goes, I'm still pretty relatively new to that world. I've been tattooing other people for just over 2.5 years, something like that. The apprenticeship started right at 3 years ago. But before that, I did, a lot of murals around the Farmington, Park Hills area. Excuse me. I grew up Flat River, went to Central, so naturally Chris and I are better. But beyond that, no, I did
Rebels.
I did the murals at Sugar Fire, 102 Tap House, downtown Farmington.
I love those murals too.
The greetings from Farmington mural on the side of Kreckler Jewelers. Looks like a postcard.
Yeah.
My wife and son actually helped me on that one. They kind of came out, and some of our friends' kids, if they happen to be coming, walking around when the weather was nice,
So your wife and kid are somewhat artistic too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And they doesn't your wife do piercings over there at Artisan Inc.?
She does. So,
All right.
And then she's also going to school right now to be a permanent makeup artist.
Oh, nice.
So, just kind of a, we talked a little bit about it when you're getting a tattoo, just kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing that fell in my lap. All the tattoos that I have, I designed, hand drawn paper kind of thing. And apparently not a lot of people do that, So I went in to get a tattoo, and Ben, that mentored me, that owns the shop over at Artisan, he's like, "What do you do for a living?" And I'm like, "I've been working at the hospital doing CAT scan for like 2 decades." And he goes, "Oh man, sounds like you got a good job. You got kind of a natural talent that I think would translate well with a little bit of instruction into tattoo art, but you probably wouldn't want to do that, right?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't quit my job to be a full-time student or whatever. I got bills and obligations, but no, he actually worked out his schedule, stayed late in the evening so that I could get my shop hours and my practice procedures, just really worked with me so that I had an opportunity to be successful. And, he still makes himself really available to me to answer questions if I, what do you think I should do, approach on this, this is a little different style, and just been an encourager along the way. So, but I was already at the shop often. It's really cool atmosphere, really laid back, family friendly. I mean, whenever he presented that opportunity, and I was talking to my wife and of course my son, we always take everything to the dining room table. Any big family decisions, we always talk about it, pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. And out the chute, he's like, "Yeah, I think you should do it, man. That'd be cool,
Mm-hmm.
And, she's like, "It's a great opportunity. Obviously you love getting tattoos, and, it's a form of art that you haven't yet conquered." And, we talked about, the changes that's going to have to happen in lifestyle, work all day and then go to the shop all evening and put the time in and all that kind of stuff. And they supported me every step of the way, made it possible. And then lo and behold, we were in need for, an extra piercer in the shop. She also works at the hospital. So when they approached her, she's like, "Well, medical procedures, you just show me, what to stick and where and how to do it safely. Like I don't have a problem with, starting IVs, doing biopsies, piercing noses. Like it's all the same. Once
Right,
you get past that,
That's
that-
awesome. You have that kind of support system too.
Yeah, for
no,
sure.
definitely.
That helps a lot of people succeed too when you have a cohesive family unit or just any kind of support system, and it helps a lot.
Yeah,
definitely,
that's one thing I've learned this past year alone is if you're doing any form of art for a career besides just a little hobby in your bedroom, you've got to be with somebody who gets it.
you got to have somebody that has a job so that you can keep doing your art.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But somebody who
Yeah.
gets it and gets the lifestyle and
And,
is actually a little excited about what you're doing too, and then has something that you can be excited about them doing too.
definitely. And that was a big part of the transition even, because I told Ben at the outset, I don't want to be in here messing people up. If I can't do this well, then let's let it go. Let's try it, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But art in general, as far as a hobby or a side career or a full-time gig or whatever, it's a pretty lonely business. When I'm doing murals and stuff like that, a lot of times, I'm doing that when a business is closed. And you go in, and so I was packing up my vehicle when I would leave in the morning with all my art supplies, and I drive to the hospital, work all day, go to the place that I was going to be doing the murals, and I'd unpack my stuff. I'd start scaling the designs and stenciling it up on the wall, all that kind of stuff. Work till you just couldn't make sense of the brush strokes and things like that. Rinse out all your stuff, pack it up for the night, and then do it all over again. And so you just and it's fine. When you love music, that's your comfort. But it's lonely work. Aside from murals, I did some cool stuff, collab project with Marvel and Upper Deck. They do a special insert on their Marvel trading cards, and they issue, they'll contract a bunch of artists and they'll send us blanks on the front, and on the back it's the official licensed product.
That's cool.
And then we draw our paint, and there's a whole list of things that you can and can't do, and characters that aren't under license currently because it's owned by another, but pretty free will on that, and then you send all your stuff in to to Marvel, and they have to approve of the images, and then that goes to Upper Deck for final approvals, or maybe the other way around. Either way, and that was kind of a cool gig, kind of a feather in my hat, just because I grew up collecting Marvel cards. I was an
Right.
X-Men fan, animated series.
That's pretty big time stuff for Park Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
for real.
I really didn't think it, because big kind of thing for, I guess, Park Hills. When they reached out to me, I'm like, this isn't real. This is like
So how did they find out about you?
from the Sugar Fire stuff.
But how did they did somebody go into Sugar Fire and see it and then contact them, or did one of them go into Sugar Fire, or was
They
it
just
posted?
like
it
pictures.
was Sugar Fire's online, their social media presence.
Oh,
So like
okay.
some of the art that I've done there, aside from the murals above each of the stations, there's basically a barbecued version of a superhero, right?
Yeah, I
you got
said
like
that.
Iron Ham, you got the Incredible Pork,
I said
so they were posting those just to kind of, to
Generate
to psych
some
up, interest in the restaurant coming in. And I guess the talent acquisitions guy at Marvel had come across that and just liked my style. It was like, I think, this would work out well. And that's kind of the cool thing about the set, is collectors collect different things. You might have some guy out there that just wants to collect everything that Chris did, and he's going to try to collect everything Chris does. There might be another guy that just really likes Iron Man, right? And he wants, an example of an Iron Man piece of art from every artist that was on the set, or everyone that had one available. And so it's kind of an interesting, trading cards, I guess, is kind of a volatile market. So,
Isn't it cool when art takes you places?
yeah, I mean, it's like, and that was the thing. It's like, I've done art my entire life, in some capacity or whatever. I go back to, well, even when I was like a little kid in the evenings, like my dad and I would sit in the living room floor, we'd take turns, kind of like a win, lose, or draw kind of thing. Like he would draw something. It's like you try to guess it before he gets done. And then I try to draw something, he tries to guess. But man, really things just really like, really hit the bricks for me. Like 2017, 2018, that's when, the Sugar Fire thing might have been like the first project in that capacity. And it was really, they were just looking for art to hang on the walls. And then that just kind of progressed into like, let's just make art on the walls, And then that opened up the thing with Marvel. And then, of course, some friends of ours opened up Tap House. And they're like, hey, we want to do some cool artwork in there too, And then the thing, Jeff reached out to me, Jeff Kreckler, to do the thing on the side of the building, kind of a love letter to the city of beautiful downtown Farmington.
Right.
That kind of thing. And really just had a lot of cool opportunities, just more than a guy deserves. I've done stuff, back at Central, Greg Noble brought me back in to do some cool stuff over at the middle school. We painted lockers to look like books. We did some stuff, around the hallways, and kind of just, draw some stuff up, and just slide it on my desk, make sure that, that everything's got the official stamp of approval. And
Greg Noble's such a great dude.
oh man, he's just,
He is. He comes by the truck sometimes. Great customer. Great guy.
He was my
all around.
favorite English teacher going to school.
He didn't do a good job.
Justin and Keith won't remember this. Todd, where'd you go to school at, Todd?
Oh, I went to Farmington.
Okay, so Justin and Keith, Todd won't know, but Justin and Keith won't remember this. Greg's dad.
oh yeah, Terry. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was, his last year as a principal was when I was a freshman. And he was, that year especially, he was the coolest principal.
No, he was
ever.
awesome. And so, fun fact, like he lived 2 houses down from where we lived.
Oh, no kidding.
From 4th grade on,
Nice.
And he's the kind of guy, and he would be embarrassed, I think, if he knew that I was talking about it, because he's a humble guy, right?
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
And you can definitely see where Greg gets, some of his, finer, classy traits, But,
Absolutely.
I'd be waiting for the school bus in the mornings, and it'd be like colder than like it is now, and he'd kind of pull up and he's like, hey, you want to ride to school? And I'm like, no, because I'm, shy art kid. Like don't even acknowledge me, right? He's like, get in the car. Like, I'm going to school right now. He's like, there's no need to just stand out here in the cold. And he would give me a ride to school, all the time on like the real cold mornings if he saw me outside. And then, sometimes toward the end of the school day, if he knew he was going to have an administrative meeting or whatever, he's like, hey man, if I give you my house key, can you go let my dog out just so, she's not in there tearing stuff up or whatever. And, just super down to earth kind of guy. I know a lot of people just see him, in that, that position of power, where he's got to be the stern voice of disciplinarianism and all that kind of stuff. But really, I mean, he's just a super good guy.
He was-
Couldn't be a better guy.
He was one of the teachers that inspired me to be a writer. Because I've done a lot of songwriting mostly, But I've done short fiction and stuff like that, and he was one of the teachers.
So-
that was just like,
So how do you become a writer when you don't use any vowels though? That's
Yeah, it's real short stories.
Have you done long fiction? Or just short fiction? What is
short
the
fiction
what is
without
Long
vowels.
long
It would be
fiction
long
would have
fiction
the
if I
vowels.
added the vowels in, but without the vowels, it's short fiction.
I don't know if he did this with you, Justin, but Brandon probably remembers it when he would have us listen to music and interpret the lyrics. So
Yes.
did you?
Yes.
Okay, so he did that with you too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
And so I feel like that's a big part of what's made me at least be able to hang in the conversation with what you guys talk about, on the podcast or what you post and stuff. It's like, no, it's like just the appreciation of music, And it's like, I'm very big into that, if I share a song with you, just know I'm sharing a piece of my soul kind of thing. It's like, I very rarely, I mean, a lot of times, there's a lot of songs that, just sounds great, but it's like, man, I'm a lyrics guy, right? Like, and I think part of that is understanding the poetry of that and understanding that, sometimes there's just things that you can't get across, you don't know the words to say. And I saw this great quote, it might have been when Cornell died or something like that. And it talks about, why we mourn, like when these people that you've never actually met or you don't know personally, like, you lose a
you're
guy
like
like
losing a piece of your soul.
well, yeah, and it's because I don't know them, but he kind of put me more in touch with myself, in some of the words that he wrote.
Well, I feel like you get to know that person a little bit. You get to know a little piece of their life through their music.
Yeah, and I think all art is like that, because I'm the same way. It's like, yeah, that's your tattoo, but it's mine too, and like so forever. Like I like to follow that.
I'll always remember who did this.
Yeah, I like just casually like, hey, let me see how that tattoo's done. I might be like 10 years down the road, and I'm sure I drive a lot of my customers crazy. I'm like, everything going okay? Like did it settle in good for you? That kind of stuff. Because again, I didn't want to do it if I couldn't be good at it, and therefore, I pour.
You take pride in it.
All of the talent that I have
Right.
for my level of experience into what I'm doing at that point in time. So, it's part of me, and that's what tattooing's so great. All art is great, music and all of it. Pottery, tattoos and murals, all of it.
Right.
But just that expression of being able to connect with people. Like I said, a lot of art's lonely. It's a lot of hours that people don't see. You always hear people talk about, don't pay me for my my time on this particular project, pay me for the years that it took to be able to do this project in a short period of time.
Right.
And a lot of people don't see, the hours that you spend, in your studio or in your basement or whatever you're calling your studio at that time. It's like, but that's hours and thrown away canvases and wadded up pieces of paper and broken pencils and dried out markers and all that kind of stuff to get to where you are. And, a lot of times people only see the finished product.
Right.
Tattooing is very different than that, or than other art in that regard, because you get to really connect with people. I know a lot of people kind of relate it a little bit to, the old time barbershops or, the bartender or something like that, where you're just talking to somebody, for most people, I'm a complete stranger and they can kind of pour their heart out. They know that I'm not going to tell anybody, about what's going on in their life because I don't know many of the people in their life.
That's why a lot of people call it like tattoo therapy
It
or
is,
things
yeah.
like that, because it's literally like a therapy session, except you're getting a piece of work done.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that it's, and I guess, maybe there's a little bit of that, for that pain aspect. But I think for the most part, I think it's being able to spill their guts in a safe environment, and to know
Well,
that,
and vulnerable too, because people are, they're literally getting something put on their skin permanently, and you're the one doing it. So there's a vulnerability.
it creates an intrinsic bond there,
Right.
And they're going to come back to you because they're comfortable with you.
Yeah.
They've spent some time with you. They've had that conversation. You've built, like a mini relationship with them.
Yeah, definitely. And that's great. And I always tell people, and like, if you want to come back and let me do more work for you or whatever, like I would love that, But I also get it, like sometimes people's approach is that like this particular forearm has a different tattoo, and I designed most of them, but it was a different artist for each one. And the cool part for me is each of the 4 artists were people who were there when I was apprenticing. So
Okay.
for me, that's like almost like collecting an autograph, but it's me, like no matter where I go in my career as a tattoo artist, I'm going to have a little bit of the people who sewed into me as an artist early in my career. And they're literally a part of me. It's like, this is my drawing, make it your own, tweak what you need to. If you think this line doesn't flow well, or if you want to shade it differently, like that's fine. That's cool. Like I want it to be our thing. And so, it's just kind of that passing of the torch kind of thing. But, there's a sentimentality. And I tell people that. It's like, if you want to go to another artist, like, like just because I've tattooed you doesn't mean like you're like my property now, like, or whatever, except Chris, you're definitely my property.
Yeah.
So, like, what advice would you give somebody who is kind of artistic but has never really taken the plunge? Like, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get out there but hasn't, as far as like doing it more professionally?
And I know it's going to sound cheesy as all get out, but it's really like keep doing it.
Put in the reps.
Keep doing it every day, and like, and I always tell people, like stuff that I've done in the past, like even, because nobody wants to hear it this way, but, there are things that I look back on, maybe early on, and it's like, I know I could pull those lines better now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really, that's what you want, right? You want to be better today than you were yesterday, and so forth. So
you
it's
want,
like
you want growth.
Yeah,
because how else do you get better? And if you can't look back at yourself, even like a few months ago or years, like and go, ooh, like man, I can't believe I'm so much better now.
Yeah,
if you're not growing, you're not living.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's kind of cool because I actually have some loyal customers that have been with me since like early in my apprenticeship, and we actually talked about that. It might have been the same day that you guys came over. It was just earlier in the day. But she has tattoos from like when I was like really early in the apprenticeship, and I'm kind of like, I kind of wish you'd let me touch that up a little bit. She goes, no, I love it because it tells a story. She goes like, because you can see on my arm how you've gotten better, how you've changed your technique, and that's the thing too, it's like as an artist, you want to kind of develop your own niche, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to see what somebody else has done. You want to emulate that in some capacity, but you want to emulate from many sources so that you eventually become your own artist. You want to have your own style so that when people look at that and they're like, man, I don't even have to ask. I guarantee Brandon did that tattoo because, it's got his lines. It's got, or, not even just tattoos, but, as a mural artist, as a caricature artist, as a, like you want to be able to make your mark where you don't have to sign the stuff. And, I just like that, so just developing. So
do you have a favorite like piece or mural that you've ever done that you're just like, wow, like this so far, this is like my masterpiece. This is, at least to date.
Really, really honestly, I just can't say that because I think I would resonate with most artists when I say, it's like everything that I look at that I've done, like I see the thing that I wish I could do different, like, so there's definitely stuff I'm proud of, and I'm not saying that I'm not proud of everything that I've done, but I always only see the flaws first and foremost, and I'm like, I
think that's more of a perfectionist thing than an art thing because some people that are artists in any form aren't necessarily perfectionists and they don't see that way.
And maybe I'm just kind of, an odd duck, I know that, in the art world because, for having artistic talent, whatever that means, I don't have a lot of those other characteristics that a lot of artists do. I'm not type B, I'm not, just like wake up and roll with it. I'm in my head a lot, and that's why I love, again, tattoo shop or otherwise, having the music, helps me divert some of that. I used to get in trouble in school, like when we're getting like our lectures and things like that. And, the teacher's like, you're not paying attention because you're drawing all over your notebook or whatever. And it's like, no, I have to divide my attention because like I'm overthinking. And so like, if I, if I commit this amount of my brain to, to not focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing, then I actually listen better. And the same thing with creating art, like I need that music as a backdrop for me because it quiets a lot of the other noise, that's going on. Like,
what are you listening to right now?
Well, right now I've got a pretty cool playlist. It's, I don't know if it still meets the, the criteria for a playlist because it's like 39 hours of music. I just keep adding.
It's
to
just
it,
a really long playlist.
But if I was going to talk about my wheelhouse, I'm forever going to live in that 2001 to 2005 era. That's what I always come back to. Now, like on any given day, this playlist, it's got some Morgan Wallen and stuff on there. It's got a lot of Taking Back Sunday. It's got Dashboard. It's just kind of all over the place. I think what was playing when I got out of the Jeep when I pulled up was Fairweather Friend by Spitalfield.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, I was like, man, I know they've already started a podcast. This is a great song. Maybe I'll just sit out here for a while, But then I would have missed out on, some of this pizza. So
we may be working on something with Spitalfield, but we can't say any more than that.
Can't say anything about it. Definitely.
Can't say anything more than that, though.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's the go-to. That kind of brings in the next too. Thanks, Todd. What are you listening to right now?
Oh, you're welcome, Keith. I'm so glad I could.
Yeah, it's like you read my mind. It's like that's what we're gonna do next.
I still haven't stopped listening to that.
Still on Blink, huh?
Oh, dude,
I've been listening
that
to it.
album.
Oh my
is
God,
just
yes.
perfect. Like seriously, I can't like so. kind of how we were talking about, like how other artists are like, you know, like some go kind of do a different style and maybe doesn't fit your time in your life.
Yeah.
Like this for me, and everything that's been going on with me, like the past month of my life, this album is hitting every
It's hitting the
single
spot.
Yeah, dude. Like it's like the song Anthem Part 3 is like literally it just is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect. This light just came on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Whatever.
what's going on, man.
We turned that on like 2 hours ago almost.
Oh, it just came on.
Yep.
Okay.
It's on the timer.
But yeah, so pretty much that album, and then actually, so today is the start of Christmas season because it's November
Was
1st.
Michael Bublé?
No,
Why?
no,
NSYNC Christmas album?
no. I do like Michael Bublé, but
Michael Bublé's great. Yeah.
we were
Bublé
going to
is
agree.
pretty great.
And as far as I know, he's not a chomo, so we can like. him.
Hey.
But Trans-Siberian Orchestra
okay.
is what I
never
started
got into
listening to
that.
today, and so pretty much Blink, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and a lot of Sum 41 because my kid's been listening to a lot of Sum 41 and Blink, so that's pretty much all we've been
Okay.
listening to.
Yeah, I like that. What about you, Justin?
So
Did you just look it up?
Huh?
Did you just look it up?
Yeah, he brought up his own playlist.
No, so the playlist that I started listening to this week, I've just been kind of playing the same playlist. I've been really into like the pop punk emo like boy girl duets, and that's what the playlist is called.
Oh.
Pop punk emo boy girl.
Oh, like yeah, I got
So
you.
it's-
So, like-
Like if it
no,
means
if
a
it
lot
means
to
a
you
lot to
and
you,
stuff
but
like
it
that.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Just
a
that
bunch
on a
of
loop.
songs by every band that does them in the genre. And so, like Neck Deep, Mariana's Trench, All Time Low with Julia Sims, We the
Yeah, that's a good
Kings,
one.
Demi Lovato,
That's a good one.
whole
Okay.
I mean, the list goes
Yeah.
on and on. So I've just been listening to a lot of duets lately, pop punk.
A lot of duets. What about you, Chris?
So I downloaded the Blink album.
Yeah.
I've been listening to pretty much just that for the last week.
Yes.
Um,
What'd you
they
think of
got
part
that.
3?
Oh, it was great. So they got a song that sounds very similar to Adam's song. It's like it's a few songs after. Oh crap! What's that? What's the one that's?
Is it the title track?
No, I don't believe so. That's after that one song that you guys told me to listen to. I can't even remember what it was. One more time.
Part 3?
One More Time is great.
So
is that
it's-
the song you're thinking
No,
of?
no. It's a
Okay.
couple songs after that, I believe. Maybe 4 or 5 songs
You don't
after.
know what
it.
you got, or
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's
He's
it.
gonna- he's
I think
gonna
that's
roll
it because it
Okay.
starts out a little different, and then it kind of has that same sound as Adam's song does. But
Okay.
there's
Adam's
like
song's a great
there's a little
song.
more drums in it, and it's like they change one chord.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah.
So not to like jump in and talk over the top of you, but you guys were talking a little bit, about like the evolution of All American Rejects, right? That first album was great, and then it's not for me, right? As much
Yeah.
with the other stuff, Same thing with Brand New with the Deja and Tindu album, and that's kind of the age old thing, right? It's like for a band, you have to decide like, are we going to keep producing the same CD every year, and meet our target audience? Are we going to evolve a little bit and try to
And
attract
that's
some more
exactly
stuff?
why Fall Out
It's
Boy
good.
is still my number one favorite band.
Because they
So-
never change.
So
No, they changed. They
So you know who did evolve but still puts out great records and it's not the same? Newfound Glory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they sound, like
That's
you
why I
could
got.
interchange the
That's
CDs,
why I never like latched onto them like super heavy though, because it's the same.
But some-
stuff.
It's not the same. That's what I'm saying. They've evolved, but it's not like crazy different.
Yeah, because like Catalyst was totally different than Tell All Your Friends.
Yeah, and Coming Home
Yeah, like there's
Was-
I will give you
but-
that.
was totally different, and it like showcased their musicianship and voice and everything like that.
There's
And
some
then,
bands that you want to stay the same, and there's other bands that need to grow because you have to grow, kind of thing too.
well, I think lyrically they grew for a minute. Like some, I wouldn't say it's as good as it used to be, but like Resurrection came out just where I needed it to, and then
Yeah.
like just a lot of that. But I feel like they did different, but they still stayed close.
I think one reason why like I'm so attached to Fall Out Boy and the new and old sound is just because like I grew up with the evolution. Like as I was growing up, they were growing up. Like when they came back,
Yes.
when they came back after their hiatus, they had a completely like new sound they've never done anything like that before. That was a couple years after like I was a teenager at that point, or I was from a teenager to almost an adult at that point. So like it was a whole new phase of my life. So it felt like I grew with them.
I think, and Silverstein's another one of those that didn't like change a bunch, but
Yeah,
like
but see,
still
that-
grew and
Yeah,
like stuff.
like,
yeah.
Well, you can even tell from like when Broken is Easily Fixed
Well, yeah, that,
to Discovering the Waterfront. Like
yeah.
you know,
but
they
they popped out like so many albums. Now,
they
and it's
they
like,
they grew, they got better, but it's more like they polish themselves. You know, like okay, it's still the same style, but now it's
The
polished.
same style, but yeah, but I feel like they still grew, and it's not the same thing that they're regurgitating.
That's where I think Thrice is just they've evolved. Over
That's-
the course
yeah.
of, like 25 years now, but
Yeah,
every
totally
album-
different than the Artisan
Dude.
Ambulance or something like
Yeah,
that.
which
I mean,
is one of my all-time favorite
that's
albums.
that's my favorite Thrice album.
Have you
for
heard
sure.
Beyond the Pines?
What
It's a
era?
song- It's a Thrice song. It's like a couple years old now.
Oh, okay, no, yeah, because that kind of grew away from me. I think.
They just had their 20-year Artisan Ambulance.
Yeah, they redid
show.
it, and I didn't like how they
was
did
there.
it.
Well, there's that. Yeah, so I'm with you on how they redid it, but the tour.
Yeah.
was-
Oh, that would have been
yeah,
good.
It was amazing.
Yeah, because that's such a good album. But
I have allergies.
but Chris, you were still going. You still on the Blink?
Yeah,
Just,
I mean,
just
I'm
Blink.
yeah,
No OOs.
yeah, a little bit yesterday actually. got some pop punk of the OOs. But yeah, that Blink album. I mean, it's on brand for Blink. How
So,
they, the
I think you guys hyped it too much for me.
yeah, I don't think it was as good as their last albums, but I think it was pretty
I think it's
solid.
the Blink
Well,
we needed.
I'm glad you're good at making pizza, Chris.
I think it was. I don't think it was
There were
bad. I
a couple
think it was.
songs that were on par, but
I
as
think
a
it was
whole,
good, but
Here's what I think
it was the
is
Blink we needed for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
And here's why I think that it's a great album and maybe not at the same time. Is because what they've done in one album is they've sampled a little bit of everything that's been great about Blink, from Dude Ranch, Take Off Your Pants, all the way up to California, Nine. You reference there's songs on there that are reminiscent of Adam's song, and if Adam's song appealed to you, that's a very different song than First Date or Rock Show. But there's songs on this album that are reminiscent of that style
Very
as well.
similar,
So, I think they've done a good job of kind of giving you again what they've done well in the past. And so for some people, they're like, well, I mean, it's not groundbreaking to me. I mean, this isn't like, maybe it's overhyped because it's like, it's Blink, right? It's like,
yeah. Well, and I get the excitement on it too.
I think the biggest
but it's
excitement
a
was
time
just the fact
capsule,
that
And it I can get that. I think I'm just looking at it the wrong way, and it's not bad by any means, and I don't not enjoy it. I just
I think for a lot of people, like, it's just how do you relate to the music? That like, I've never really been into rap, but that's just because like I don't relate.
rap.
Yeah, I don't relate to rap. Like
I get it.
can't. When I listen to music, I'm pretty much doing it. For whatever effect. Like if I go to the gym, cool. I have like, okay, this is what I'm going to lift to. Like if I do
like
cardio,
Secondhand Serenade or something.
I don't lift. I like secondhand.
I do too.
He's trying to gain some risk. Not split
Well,
his
I
wrist.
think with the Blink album, I've only listened to it all the way through about 3 times. So like I've listened to a lot of their older stuff a whole lot more than that. So it needs time to grow on me as well.
It'll grow on you, yeah.
And maybe that's it for me too.
I liked it.
Like
but it
again,
needs-
yeah, I like it.
I need to give it more time
Well,
as
see, and
well to
that's-
give it
One more time.
solid-
You say
one
that
more
too
time.
Yeah.
because like you guys give me so much shit about the newer Fall Out Boy stuff, but like when it first came out, I wasn't that into it, but it grew.
Then
on
it
me.
became mainstream, and you were like,
Well, no,
okay, I gotta like
a couple
this.
of listens through.
Does everybody else like it?
Right.
You waited for the
Honestly,
reviews to
probably
come out.
because it was played on the radio so freaking much that I listened to it more.
No, what you're saying. I know,
just
I
grew
do.
on me.
Do talk about, but that's the thing. Like I heard "Take This to Your Grave" first came out, and I was like, "This is Fall Out Boy."
That's like nothing can top it.
No, nothing will ever.
Yeah.
Chicago so 2 years ago. I heard that
I
song
agree with
first.
that, for
Yeah,
sure.
Boom.
That is the best song on that album.
Yes, it is.
And see, that's like with me and you, like we and probably Chris and Brandon.
Yeah, it's an
We
era.
all grew up, in that era.
Yeah.
So to us, like when I hear "Take This to Your Grave," it reminds me of when I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I guess you get that kind of nostalgia too. And
I wasn't 16 or 17.
You were like 14.
Yeah, probably.
I was like 16 or 17.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
I was like
But like
16
when
and
from
or 17
what is that
as
next
well.
one? From Under the Cork Tree, whatever.
From Under the Court Tree, I thought was
like obviously they sold out, which I'm not blaming them because like who wouldn't?
so I hate that term.
sold out.
Yeah, because
Well, I think people look at it in the wrong way. So like if I'm put in that position, let's say like you work for a record label and they're like, "Hey, we need you to do this song." And so to me, like, cool, dude, like whatever, because you're putting food on the table and you get
Yeah.
to play music. Like, like,
But,
okay, look at Nickelback. Like everyone hates Nickelback, but do they really hate Nickelback?
no, I don't
Well,
think
I
so.
think
They've
it's the-
sold so many albums.
It's the difference between touring in a busted old van and maybe touring in comfort. You know what I mean? Or providing for your family,
that's
or
what I mean. Like
what,
they selling out. Like, sure, they got more popular, But like they got to upgrade. They tour buses. I mean, look at where they are.
I think
now.
Fall Out Boy is a bad example of that because they might have a little bit, but like I think for the most part, maybe they want to just do something different too.
Yeah,
like they just happened to catch like by the time that album got big, they were like, you know what, we want to do something popular.
That's why it's not necessarily the mainstream bands that I hook onto. It's bands just like Fall Out Boy and Avenged Sevenfold that like they do that different style and stuff.
Sorry.
Whatever, they do that different style because they want to, not because they're asked to or whatever.
Well,
like they just want to do something.
That's why I don't really. I think Sold Out's thrown out too easily. That's what I mean. I think there's people that are just like, hey, this is what I want to make. It just happens to be like more popular now.
Well, I think most of those people saying sold out are people who maybe aren't doing well in their lives. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So,
And I think that happens
because
you
you
have
relate because you want them to suffer like you are. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and you have bands that like will still tour that busted old van because that's what they want to do.
Well,
Yeah, I
another
tell you,
one of
like,
my favorites was Framing Hanley. They played.
Ew, what?
They got
Stop.
a lot bigger as they progressed, and like they stayed in the same tour van for like 9 years.
I gotta tell you, man. Like when we went on tour, we didn't get hotel rooms, so we just saved money. Like we just bought like a tent and stayed at campsites.
Oh,
KOA campsites. And I tell you what, like just that, because it was like a summer tour, got to tour the Midwest, and it was like a giant long camping trip, like with like your best friends playing music,
Right.
living that rock star lifestyle
for sure.
That's,
Yeah,
so I always have those memories of, but at the same time, like if record labels, they're just like, hey.
Oh, it'd have been a lot more comfortable in a hotel too. Like I did the same thing,
Right.
like sleeping in the van, right? But
So that's where I think, like I said, selling out gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
People don't look at, they just look at, oh, well, they did that to get more money.
this is tough.
Well, not necessarily, especially in these days. Bands aren't making as much money.
No,
But also at
because
the
they
same
used
time,
to.
even if it is for the extra money and stuff, like if your boss comes up to you and offers you a promotion
Right.
with more money and shit, are you gonna take
It
it?
depends
or
on
are you
what's
gonna stay at
attached
what
to
you're
it,
doing just
right?
'cause you like
Right.
it?
I mean, as
No,
long
man, I'm going to stay authentic.
Right.
Yeah, it depends on
I
what's
wanna stay
attached
at
to
the
it.
bottom. I want to stay at the bottom because I like my job, but I'm making a lot less money. Like if you choose to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. But if
No,
your
not at
boss
all.
offers you a better paying job and stuff,
as
you're
long as
gonna
you don't
take it if
become.
it's
Yeah, as long as you don't compromise yourself
Crazy.
for
Right,
that. I
right.
think
'Cause
that's where the
there's some
Right.
morals, like
Yeah.
there's obviously some morals are more important than others.
Well, it's hard for me to get mad at you for not wanting to shit in the woods. You know,
You know, I want to piggyback
will.
though on what Chris said to that effect though. You know, he's talking about you see him, hit that success or whatever. Maybe you're not there or whatever. And I think you said like you don't want them to be doing better in life than what you're doing or whatever. And I think that it is that, but deeper.
yeah.
It's not that you necessarily wish that they would fail or whatever, but you fell in love with this band with their lyrics because they were where you were.
Yeah, they
Relatable.
outgrew you.
It was relatable.
And now
They passed you up.
it's like this friend that moved away and you can't follow them because now they found success, they found acceptance and whatever, and you're still you, right?
Well, the way you just put that was like,
And it's
Yeah.
it's
and
really,
they'll say you've changed, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't have that ability to change to keep up with where you guys are going. You've gone somewhere that I can't go. And you're
that's
losing
a
a
really good
friend
point,
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that evolution, that sellout or whatever.
It's not like a hate thing. It's just like I wish you well in your endeavors.
Yeah.
But I miss the way things
we
were.
can't hang
Yeah,
out
exactly.
anymore. That's what sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's good points.
Yeah.
I like those.
Um,
Yeah. So Todd, don't say they sold.
We
Sorry,
should
that's just where we
definitely,
started. So
no.
we should
They
definitely be
sold
getting
that.
to the fired review in the draft.
yeah, do you guys want to know what I've been listening to?
Yeah, what have you been listening
No,
to?
no,
we
no.
don't really
Well,
care.
Justin doesn't.
Wait,
Justin-
Newfound Glory.
Yeah, see if you can guess.
Falling in reverse.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so
The
what
Wonder
else do you-
Years.
No, actually, dude, I've been just listening to everything Conor Oberst lately. Like that's it. The Bright Eyes guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So Bright Eyes.
I was about to be like,
He,
you said Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes. He's got solo stuff, and then he also has a project with Phoebe Bridgers.
Okay.
You guys know Phoebe Bridgers?
Yeah, I
No.
know Phoebe.
Oh man, check her out. She's fantastic. But it's called Better Oblivion Community. So good. Like so, I just put on Conor Oberst radio for like the past week.
Okay.
And real good stuff. So yeah, Bright Eyes is underrated.
Yeah, and they've been around a long time.
They have.
People
And
don't,
they- And they do something like all their albums are different. Like you got some super folk, you got some super electronic stuff. Also, Despercitos. I think that's how you say that.
Despacito.
You guys ever listen to them?
no.
So that is
but I haven't.
Conor Oberst, like
I've
early 2000s band. It's like kind of a Taking Back Sunday type.
Wasn't that some kind of song that was real big?
Desperado, I think.
No, so that's
Despacito was, yeah.
Desperado
Was it?
by the Eagles.
I could be saying that wrong.
Well, there was something called Despacito. I don't remember if it was a song
No,
or a movie or...
I don't know, but-
I've seen the name.
But yeah, so that'll pop up too, and that's like that's like if you like early 2000 stuff, like that's good stuff. He's just like yelling and shit.
He's just
Yeah, but I like it. So my daughter almost found a new home recently. That's all I've been listening to. She's like, we got to listen to this guy again because he's like, she always makes him sound like a goat or whatever. Like, "Bah." You know what I'm talking about though. Like,
like Shakira.
I don't.
But-
Do that again?
wait, have you ever listened to Bright Eyes?
No.
All right, so he does a little bit of like, and she's always making fun of him, and I'm like, girl, you better stop. And then she's like, turn on Ice Spice, and I'm like, no, we're not letting that happen. But yeah, so I would do that. Check them out. Todd, you would really like them, I think.
I know Bright Eyes.
No, not Bright Eyes.
Oh,
The Desperacitos or whatever they're called.
Desperado.
Desperados. The D, it's just
Despacitos.
Desperacitos. I don't fucking know.
Desperate Cheetos.
Desperate Cheetos. Remember
Cheetos.
Desperate Cheetos?
I remember Desperate
Just
Cheetos.
like
That's
that
the name of my new
pizza.
pizza.
Speaking
You
of
should
just
call
like
it-
that pizza. Just like that pizza. Speaking of which,
Yeah, so what a
Brandon, did you
segue.
think of the pizza you had tonight?
I think they were both fantastic. I mean, I was starving when I got here, so and I don't have a very sensitive palate, so I know there was definitely some Cheetos and pickles on one of them, and
Flaming hot.
You got that right.
yeah. But no, I mean they're both fantastic. Like I have no complaints, and it's amazing to me, like whether it be that sandwich that I got on Friday or whatever the pizza du jour that Chris is offering up, and I know this is just a shameless plug, for a friend and stuff, but it's amazing like how intricate the flavors could be and how much flavor you can get out of a bite of a sandwich or out of a slice of pizza
Yeah.
or whatever. Like there's a lot going on and things that I would not put together.
The man does his science.
Yeah, I mean, he
Hey,
knows what he's doing
thank
over
you.
there, Yeah, absolutely, an artisan, so to speak.
Yeah.
I try to make it make sense and be different and not be putting out the same stuff that everybody else is.
I do think you're one of the most unique, like just
Yeah.
for the cream
You're very
cheese.
special.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen cream cheese on a pizza.
That was born out of a diet food I used to eat though. So like back when I was into lifting and dieting and being in shape for about 7 years before we started the food truck and 30 pounds ago. But my favorite thing was kind of a guilty pleasure snack was turkey pepperoni fat-free cream cheese with everything bagel seasoning. You throw it in the oven, bake it for like 10-15 minutes, something like that. And when we
got the
first
whole
started
recipe.
this, I said, let's turn this into a pizza. Let's use all the full fat versions, the good ones that are good and tasty and all that. And that's one of our most popular pizzas. We don't hardly ever put it on the menu, but we always have the stuff for it, and people ask for it every single week. So it worked out really well.
That reminds me of like you getting into the science of things. Nikki Serenity was doing a live the other day, and I was watching it, and we were talking back and forth through the comments, and she had complimented not only your pizza, but she said that you seem like you're a genius, like just the way you talk and carry yourself, you seem like a genius.
Well,
Just got Justin to compare you to, so probably
never
puts
had
you a
that
little
said
higher.
before, but thank you.
Well, yeah, but you got like here and here,
Yeah, I mean,
What'd you think of the pizzas?
So I was gonna let Chris tell us what was in it,
That's even better.
but then I'll go for sure.
do you want me to explain?
I would love it.
All right. So,
Everybody would love it.
So first we have the not flaming hot. I guess I'm
Oh,
calling
the
it
Desperate
I'm calling it
Cheeto.
The Desperate Cheeto. I'm calling it the hot Cheeto dill light. So that's got our garlic ricotta cream sauce, mozzarella, dill flavored Havarti cheese, pickles, bacon, a ranch drizzle, and hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Flamin'
pizza
hot,
was a
flamin' hot
big
Cheetos.
dill.
The crust,
I almost called it
made
that,
it
but
seem
it
like
was-
a fried pickle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that was really cool because like the pickles weren't fried, but with the crust, it
Yeah.
almost made it seem like a fried pickle.
So
You're right.
You guys,
Good-
you guys get
good
kind of
job.
the New York version today because I bake those in my home oven. I don't ever turn on the food truck ovens unless I'm serving. It just costs too much money to waste that much propane. But
Right.
But yeah, so we had that one, and then we had the honey garlic roni, which is a pepperoni pizza with garlic herb ricotta, hot honey, and our fired dust, which is like a grated Parmesan cheese with some house blend seasonings.
No suction cup pepperonis.
Oh yeah, the pepperoni cups are so,
Grease just gets capped.
so yeah, they cup up that grease and they
Getting
hold
real
the honey.
excited
and
about grease, Justin.
So now
they're crispy, they're good.
I'll tell you
know.
what I
Ain't
think
easy
about
being
it.
greasy.
Yeah. So
man.
what? So Keith, give us your take.
So the Desperate Cheeto first.
Yeah.
So that's the first one I had, and that was hey, Todd. You described it very well. Like I'm not good at describing things, as you can tell. I'm always like, that's so good. But
That's so good.
but like I can tell you, I just can't get it out of my mind. You know, I just can't get it out. But that one, I thought it was going to be good, and it did not disappoint. But yeah, it did remind me of a little bit of fried pickle because of that the crunch with the crust and stuff like that. But I gotta say, the pepperoni won. And I was like, I couldn't wait. Justin was trying to take pictures, and I was like, let me try that fucking pickle pizza. So I did that, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna try this pepperoni because it looks so fucking good. And then I was like, what is this, Chris? Because it tastes really good, and it was that ricotta in there.
Yeah.
Which I've my whole life until recently, I didn't think I liked ricotta because
I don't like ricotta,
didn't
but
used
I
to.
love that stuff.
But yours, like every one you put on here, because it's softer. I feel like I don't know, and it's not like as
it just cooks well.
Yeah, I think
maybe
well,
that's it. I don't
usually
know.
like ricotta's in lasagna, right?
Yeah,
it's,
and I
it's
don't.
in between layers and it's real thick and it's
Yeah.
whatever. And it's usually not flavored with garlic or any
Yeah.
kind of oregano, basil, or anything like that. And so
Basil.
we put some black pepper in it, some oregano, minced garlic, of course, and then it goes on top and it's it's exposed to the heat. And so I think it cooks it a little bit differently.
Yeah,
It's a little
maybe
bit
that's
dr-
maybe
little
that's
bit-
it.
Well, it's a
but-
little bit drier, not as wet, as like a lasagna ricotta. And like I said, I don't like ricotta at all,
Yeah.
especially in a lasagna. But our garlic ricotta, I absolutely love.
It's definitely worked out. So I was like, that really set it off. But those pepperonis are really good.
Yeah.
Cut
Yeah.
pepperonis, and then the hot honey was inside the pepperoni.
Yeah.
So you got that bite too. So I gotta say the pepperoni wins today. But you can't go wrong with either one of them.
I can't really say anything different because I think you guys both captured the description perfectly.
Thank you.
All I can say is the pepperoni really surprised me. Like I thought I
Right.
was gonna like the
It looks
Desperachito better.
it looked like a regular pepperoni pizza.
Well, because you know me, I
then-
like pepperoni, but it's
Sure.
it's the most basic
Well,
flavor to
Yeah,
me. as
you
far
don't
as
you
it
shit on
goes.
pepperoni?
No, no, shut up,
Arguably
Oh, I was thinking you did.
the
So-
Fallout Boy of pizza toppings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
it was
mean,
good.
It is,
But-
but
So
we can't always get those pepperonis that cup. Everybody at our supplier buys them, so they're often out of them. But I get them every time I see them, and sometimes buy a couple cases at a time just to have some extra stock. And you get a different texture with them. You get all that concentrated grease flavor. Pepperoni
Justin
grease
loves
flavor.
grease, as we just heard.
I mean,
It ain't
pepperoni
easy
grease.
being-
Is,
I mean, I like
yeah,
it, but
yeah,
like the
no,
way
no.
he just went crazy over
Oh
it. But
yeah.
but actually, Chris didn't buy those cupped. He went through individual pepperonis and actually shaped each one of them.
No,
He
they,
has a
they,
cup-
they don't.
he
but
has
no,
a
that-
cupping
they don't-
tool.
that
does
was
have a
the
guy-
one
No, he
for
did
me,
it by
and
fingers.
It surprised the hell out of me. I was expecting just like the regular, like
the flatronis. Yeah.
Right, and like I like all of your pepperoni pizza. I've had
I
the
like all your
everything roni. I've
pepperoni.
had the fired special. I've had just a regular pepperoni.
Sure.
I've had all of them, and I like them, but I love them, but especially the everything roni. But they have that signature pepperoni taste to it, and I just wasn't expecting that much different from that one.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose between the two, I mean, I really like the pickle one. I love pickle pizzas, but
Yeah. Pickles are great.
that
Yes.
that pepperoni pizza, I think, is the winner as well. And those actually start out flat. They cup when the heat hits them,
Yeah.
so they don't start out as a cup on the pizza, But yeah,
But
they're,
So they
Chris,
are
just
wrecked
tell
with
everybody
the
you
heat.
did it.
I did it.
Thank you.
I did it. I
It's all by hand. Like he went through a millions
painstakingly-
of pepperonis and
yeah, I
hand
mean,
cupped.
10 pounds of.
I thought he just went through and he's like just
pepperoni.
like poking all the pizza.
That would be
Right?
easier.
See, I do. I stick my hand in the oven and I just,
Yeah, yeah.
every time, like.
You should see these
Okay.
burns.
Yes. Yeah, look at this one.
Hey, you gotta
You know,
protect
I'm a
it.
basic white girl when it comes to pepperoni.
Everything.
Not everything.
Oh, it's
Probably
just-
a lot. There's probably a lot of things that you could be like, dude, you're so basic white girl. But
Yeah.
pepperoni is 100% like, dude, because
I mean, it's the you can't go wrong with the pepperoni.
if you get like, I guess it because especially Chris's pizza, like it reminds me to go to Bob Reno's when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, those like just the pizza just hits so perfectly. Yeah, the red pepper flakes. If just
I like
if
those.
when you look at a cartoon, and you see like the pizzas.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, that looks so good. That's Chris's pizza. Like every
Yeah.
time.
The
That's
goofy
that-
pizza.
Oh man.
Or, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, he's got the big slices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's like the cheese is all melty and everything.
Yeah,
What a
that's
movie.
cool.
What a soundtrack, actually.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
we all
dude.
forgot, but
Yeah.
because that one's a good one.
It's a sad
Power
movie.
It's
line.
the Leaning Tower of cheese.
That does happen. Yeah.
It happens in the movie.
But yeah, the pickle pizzas are great. I like pickles. I like the Goofy Movie pizza, and I like the pepperonis. I liked it all. Hey,
So
who's your favorite superhero?
Who's my favorite superhero?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you wait, no, time out. I want to reword that. If you could be any superhero, who would it be?
why not just do the superpower one then?
If you could have any superpower, I already know mine.
No, I think you got to
Okay,
pick. You
superhero.
got to pick
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
pick-
package.
Pick a superhero that's already in existence
Yeah, you got to pick the whole package.
that you would be.
Justin, they don't actually exist.
What?
Sorry to break your bubble, but that's
already
they
been
don't real.
that's already been written into.
Did you find that out on the internet?
TikTok.
They're actually neighbors with Santa Claus.
And I went,
He's seen it.
and I went to Wikipedia to verify
Oh, okay. Thank you. that place is real.
after I watched it on CNN.
What are you gonna say about CNN, man?
You
All
know-
kinds.
Come on,
All kinds.
You know.
No.
Here's 45 minutes of Todd's.
I don't
political
believe you,
beliefs.
Keith.
Oh my
Save that
god.
for the
So
Todd
Brandon.
cast part 2.
Talk about that later. But yeah, pick a whole. You got to pick the whole package. You got to pick the alter ego too. Like it's got to come with it.
And so
And that's not what I meant to say. But
this is what makes it difficult, right? Because this is not a straightforward answer. Because you got to think about like
Oh, it is.
for all of your really good superheroes, it's what's compelling about those guys is how they've overcome just
Their
really
character
terrible things that have
development.
happened in their life. So you got to pick like. Oh, Batman lost his parents, but what he's been able to do because of that, or Spider-Man, with his Uncle Ben, or even like Steve Rogers, who
I think you're diving too far into it.
I think I am, but I was.
But I like it.
No, I was immersed in that world for a long time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You got to do your research. You got to
No, I get
understand these guys. In order to portray them properly on a 2.5 by 3.5 inch.
No, I
but-
get that. Yeah.
So like if I was just going to go with an easy answer, it's got to be somebody that I feel most relative in things. It's like your guys like Captain America, who are still legitimately a good guy. Because a lot of time what's happened in the comics is it's not good guy versus bad guy anymore. It's like bad guy versus worst guy. And
Yeah.
so like
entire
these
hero.
guys that are willing to go way too far. So you've got guys to reflect back on, that are like they still stand up for not necessarily the American way and all those things, right? But
Right.
not that that's a bad thing, but that's not his whole identity, and I know that's how he's really portrayed. But he's just a good guy, like at least as far as the movie goes. Why he was admitted into the program was because he was doing that kind of stuff as a superhero before he had superpowers, right? He's the guy
Right.
that's diving on the grenade to save the platoon.
Right. He was already
they're
a
like,
super soldier.
Okay, you got the stuff that qualifies
He
you
was
for
Captain
that. So-
America before the superpowers.
Yeah, definitely. So
Just
so
like
I like
Superman, like Clark Kent. He has to pretend to be Clark Kent, but he was born Superman.
sure.
So he has to hide that persona, but he's always been Superman because of the person.
Right, he's never had to earn it. He's never had to, I mean, he just, pure dumb luck, right? He ended up here or whatever, and again, we're, having debate, about a bunch of fictional people, but, like,
I just love how deep that got.
yeah, they're just they're just some admirable things,
That's what she said.
and you got to respect, just the terrible things that people have overcome,
Yeah.
and that's why I think that they're so appealing, the same reason why completely to jump genres here, but like why a big part of why Harry Potter took off. He's like, yeah, he's got this fantastic world, but he's this kid that doesn't fit in anywhere. His his family's abusive to him or whatever, and like, but in another lifetime, he's the most famous person in the world, right? And I think kids especially,
Yeah.
but people in general resonate with that. It's like, yeah, my life's hard, but what if this odd chance there is something special about me or whatever? And so you look at these guys, who find that about themselves. Like, what is it deep down inside that I overcome this adversity of this terrible, tragic fall into the nuclear waste that has now given me awesome powers,
Right.
but one of my favorite lines in any of the movies, I think it was maybe Captain America: Civil War, but when Tony, Iron Man's asking Spider-Man, about how his life's changed or whatever, and he's just talking about like, yeah, he could go out for football now, but he doesn't because he couldn't then. And so he doesn't think that it's right to do that now, you know. So he's still respectful and admirable in his mindset. So I like guys like that, you know, just these guys that are, you know, just beyond the like flashy powers or whatever. Like that's cool too, you know. Yeah, I'd definitely like to have some of those powers too, but
Yeah.
you know, just good character, you know, like that's a real superpower because man, it is rare, you know, to find people that just have that good character, you know.
So yours would be Captain America then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd, you got to follow that.
Well, so
Oh God.
what, Keith?
Well, this guy's a child molester. This guy was on the island. This guy watches CNN.
I mean, so on the Marvel side, if I had to pick to probably be anybody, it'd be Frank Castle, the Punisher.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
He's the Punisher.
I got it now, but I didn't know when you took.
Now on the DC side, though, I'd be Superman. But there's reasons I would be either one.
Well,
of
let's
them.
hear him.
Well, so in the Marvel side, so I really like the fact that the Punisher is just a dude. You know, like he doesn't have any superpowers or nothing. He's just, it's just him.
Yeah.
You know, and he had in just the darkness that he has to live in with it. You know, and because like man, if you know the same thing happened to my family, like what would you do in that situation? You know, like I just love the fact that you know he's like he even in the comics like he won't take like pain meds. He won't take like Tylenol. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He's just so bent on rage to destroy evil, and I love that.
Okay.
And then
that just feels like you.
yeah,
Definitely.
Like yeah, I don't know. It's just like that's the most Todd. I don't know much about the Punisher, but just how
man,
you
it's-
described him is you know.
yeah, because like he's not a bad guy by any means, you know. But he does he go to the extreme? Yeah, because because he's just a normal guy, so he has to do the things that he has to do to make the world a better place. Which is why I also would be Superman in the DC side because Superman doesn't kill, and I love that because he does have too much power, and he knows he has too much power. So because he could literally whirl the world, right? He could fly into outer space and be like, "Phew," and Batman's dead. If he wanted to, let's just be honest, he could just laser beam that dude
He
from
can
like
rule the
miles
world
away.
like you couldn't rule that word.
No, words are hard sometimes, Justin.
he knows.
Words and elbows and me don't get along, but
Elbows in you
and
and you. Oh, okay. I was like,
whatever
whoa.
it said. But that's what I like about Superman is that he chooses to be Clark Kent. He chooses to live in like a 1-bedroom apartment when he could be he could rule the world. He could be the richest person ever. But he chooses not to because he understands that he does have power and he can't use it. But neither one of these guys has my favorite superpower that I would actually choose.
What's your favorite superpower?
Immortality.
Oh well.
That is the only if I had to pick
Is that even a
one,
superpower?
yes, it is.
Yeah, I would say that's
Yeah.
kind of like top of the chain too.
Sorry, who's got it?
Van
Wilder?
Van Wilder had it, and Ryan Reynolds has it.
Yeah, right.
No, so the villain Vandal Savage has it.
Vandal Savage. That sounds
Vandal
like
Savage.
Macho Man. Macho Man Vandal Savage.
Sounds like a fucking wrestler.
Yeah. So in the comics, Hulk Hogan and Vandal Savage had a ladder match for the world.
Cream.
No, I think people underestimate immortality a lot. And
mean-
like,
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Then I'd pick Edward from Twilight. No, I'm just kidding. but go ahead,
you
Justin.
already sparkled to
He's
me.
so fast.
Oh, thank you. He is actually. You know, it's not a bad
Yeah,
pick.
he is.
Is he a
All they did in
superhero?
that-
Though?
He's a hell of a
All they
driver
did in that
too.
movie was
That-
run. Like
hey,
they just ran this direction,
Yeah.
and they just
You know,
ran the other direction.
Did you
true.
see him drive that Volvo though? That's
No.
why Keith likes him.
I don't remember.
He's a good the first one. He like pulls up on those guys and basically just stands there and they get scared and take off.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
go ahead,
So
Justin.
quick answers. We got to get to the draft, and we were supposed
This
to do
isn't the
2
draft?
this week.
Yeah, we're doing that after the
Yeah,
show.
We
Yeah.
need to
We're doing it after the show.
after the show.
Yeah, we already talked. Me and Todd already talked about this.
You were there. You
go
looked
ahead.
at
Doing a
us.
draft on the episode.
Just go ahead. That we're talking about our superheroes.
Okay. Well, I just mean like we're running time.
God damn it, Justin, just pick it.
Okay, so it's weird because
Well, we
I
figured.
like Marvel better than DC overall, but my favorite hero is
they make better
from
movies.
DC. So it's weird. My favorite hero is Captain Atom.
Who's that?
You don't know Captain Atom?
I wouldn't ask you who it was.
So
If I
So Captain Atom, he got hit by like a nuclear wave or whatever. And
Adam. His name's
Right,
not
his-
Adam.
His power.
He's like Adam,
his,
like
his
a-
name was Adam before that too.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah, no doubt.
How fortunate
But
for
he has
him.
atomic
Yeah.
powers, basically. But the
never
cool
heard
thing
of it.
about it was that he was. It's sort of like the Captain America thing. He was a soldier beforehand, and it's kind of cool seeing his personality, like in the comics and in the. I've seen him in the animated shows too. What he actually appeared a lot in the DC's Justice League Unlimited or whatever. But anyway, like he stuck so true to being a soldier from when he was actually like before he was in like having his superpowers, that like there was some times where he like had disagreements and actually fought the other superheroes in the Justice League just because it was like non-soldier-esque.
Yeah, I've never heard of this man.
You gotta look him up.
I will.
His name is Adam.
Adam.
Captain Atom.
Atom. Up and Atom.
Wait, is that Ryan Reynolds movie that just came out? Project Adam?
Van Wilder 3.
No, I'm just kidding, Justin. I'm just kidding. It's not.
And then probably runner-up of my second favorite is also from DC, even though my like Marvel more overall is Martian Manhunter. That dude's just so cool.
Okay.
He did not pick mainstream, guys.
Wow.
I thought that was wild. Or are they? I don't know. I don't.
Manhunter is because
Martian Man.
he's in
I
the
wouldn't say
70s.
Martian Manhunter's like super. He's in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Well,
up there,
okay,
but
so he's made
not
it.
Like he's not like
He's not the favorite.
Yeah,
from
he's
the
not
Justice
Batman,
League.
Superman.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that's just what I.
He would be like the
do you think,
Black
Chris?
Widow of the Justice League.
So can we pick outside of Marvel DC?
Yeah, for sure.
Luke
Dark Horse,
Skywalker.
anything.
Oh.
That's my shit take for the week.
Okay. I like it.
Oh, you
I like.
do?
Yeah, I love Star
Wow.
Wars.
I'll probably lose now.
I
No,
can
I
only
didn't-
This
agree
isn't a
with
draft.
you.
is it?
No, I didn't know. Yeah, that's a good man.
I mean, he's got the Force. He's got a lightsaber.
I like it.
You know,
He's
and
the best at the Force.
you know,
even
morally
with the
sound.
lightsaber.
You have to, you know, emotional control. Probably
Sometimes.
one of the sometimes right.
Definitely better than his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So I think Vader
By the way, if you
is.
didn't know, Vader is his dad.
So
spoiler
I think
alert,
he's
man.
misunderstood. I think he was the good guy,
Who?
Darth Vader.
In the end, technically,
No,
yes.
in the beginning,
Depends on how you
all
look
these
at it.
Jedi are
Hey,
trying to
hey,
control
hold
the
on,
way
hold
we
on,
live.
Hold on.
If
It's
you
like
look at it
Christians in
politically,
he is the one that brought balance to the Force.
The real hero of Star Wars is actually R2D2. He
Well,
saves the day every single time.
I mean, that's true, but
I'll always go with Obi-Wan is actually the
yeah.
right.
no, Darth
uh,
Vader.
Well, I actually like that take because I see where you're coming
Darth
from. 'cause
Vader
the-
comes full circle into his character development. I think he started out
No,
as
no.
the hero
No,
with
no.
good intentions. He
No.
went bad.
This is a
But he
pretty
turns
deep,
back.
multi-layered onion here.
Yeah.
You
So-
get into the character of Darth Vader, Anakin.
So
Skywalker.
here's what
He
happens.
did bring balance to the Force.
So they're trying to tell him to live his life the way they want him to, and he's like, "Fuck that! I'll do what I want." And so he does it, and then boom,
He's
we
the
got
real
it.
rebel.
but he
even though
didn't
he was
listen to
fighting
him,
the
and that's why he
rebels.
went to the
So
dark side.
it's just who says that the Jedi are in charge? You know, it's like
Yeah, there's a lot to be said. You know, that these
So I
guys
think-
who portray themselves as the good guys. You know, just like
exactly.
do everything the government says because the government knows best, right?
I don't
You
know,
it's
but
like-
if you think about it,
I always parallel it to the Christian Americans
uh-huh.
that this is how it's
What do I do?
supposed to be controlled, and then these are like people who are free thinkers. Darth Vader, he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm able to do what I want.
Well,
If-
geez, Keith, I think I kind of free think
If
for
you-
myself.
Well, no, I didn't mean
Are you
that
trying
in
to
a.
say you're a superhero.
So in
So,
a. So
Luke
let me.
Skywalker's basically a redneck.
So let me. Let me.
He's
Let
a
me.
space redneck. He
He's
grew
a
up on a
farmer.
farm.
Yeah.
He kissed his sister.
Hey.
Yep. Yep.
Let me clarify that before I sound
He
terrible.
hates sand people.
But Justin's not gonna let me.
I do not.
Because he's gonna go-
I'm not
to fight the man.
He's still- no, but somebody, and I didn't mean that. I just mean like how like it's
think
Christian
you're-
Nation. They like this is what you're supposed to do.
Like if you were in Footloose, you couldn't dance.
Exactly.
Right.
But and
Darth
he's
Vader
like,
dance.
and he wants to fall in love.
Yeah, he wants to dance.
If
he wants
Natalie
to get out
Portman's there and they tell me I can't fall in love, I'm gonna be bad too.
Okay,
you know?
would you rather fall in love with
I get
Natalie
that.
Portman or Taylor Swift?
Natalie Portman any day of the week.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Really?
For sure.
Natalie.
What?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I just
Hey,
didn't think you
especially
were going
on
to,
Coruscant,
pick
man.
that over.
Natalie Portman
Yeah.
doesn't look like a 2x4.
Whoa,
agree.
it's we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't
No.
have, Chris, you don't have to debate how
No.
much I hate Taylor Swift.
Oh no!
I'm just
just
saying.
That's my stance on it.
I was just real surprised.
You know,
like,
hey,
I'm proud
you know-
of Keith.
No,
You know
she's up.
You know why so many girls support Taylor Swift?
Why?
Because she's not pretty enough to be a threat. They don't have to worry about their boyfriends fawning over her.
No, I think they do.
Do they?
Just because of her power, though.
Oh, which adds to she's got power, Todd.
Well,
Let's hear it.
Right. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
she's
there we go.
satanic, So
There we go. But
I think they like her because she seems kind of relatable to like where they're at.
Which
You
is
know, she just
funny
kinda
because
seems
like
down
she
to
was.
earth.
I think it's because she's
about
fucking
being,
great.
Like, the kid that was bullied and stuff, but like there's people that she went to school with that has came out that said like basically she was the bully of the school.
No, that's inaccurate.
I'd believe
That did not happen. No, I've seen so many. No, I've done a lot of research, probably more than Todd's done on Garth Brooks.
You've done different research. on
Internet
Taylor
browser
Swift than
searches
I've
are
done.
not research.
I've talked to sources.
Sources of what?
I'll go ahead and say
daughter likes- wait.
I'll say my superhero.
Oh, you have one?
Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna pick. Dude, I don't know. I'm
Travis
thinking about it when we were going around, but he threw me off with the Luke Skywalker, and I'm like, man, I could expand these universe.
Expand my
so then I
mind.
thought Ninja Turtles.
Oh
But,
yeah.
I'd be Leonardo.
Would you?
Yeah.
for sure. He's
he's
a leader.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelangelo's the cool one, which would make sense for me.
But
But
Raphael's like the Darth Vader.
I
He's
don't
always,
like.
going against.
No, I don't like. Raphael's the worst one. He's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything.
I don't
for
like
the
him.
Team. It's a team effort.
I don't like him. But I think I might pick like I was thinking Batman or like the Arrow because like they don't have superpowers. They're just like
Normal dudes.
normal rich dudes.
You could say the same for Iron Man, right?
Oh,
No.
Batman's definitely
Iron
no
Man have-
normal.
I mean, he
rich-
doesn't have superpowers, but he got a super suit.
He's
Yeah.
also super intelligent.
super
Yeah,
intelligent.
but Batman,
super
Batman's
rich,
got kind of a
like,
super suit. I mean,
Batman-
he's got a lot of little
kind
tricks.
of, but
strongest
like
non.
I think I'm gonna go with they're
Superpowered
both rich
human.
guys that just do it out of call it vengeance, call it goodness of your heart. You know, that's why I pick those two. You know,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I thi-
respectable choices.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm Batman.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But anyway, so
I'm just.
There you go.
the fuck, man. So
Real throaty there.
that's all he does.
That's just real
They
throaty.
don't call him throat goat for nothing. But anyway, Brandon, it was great to have you
Yeah,
today.
thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
That was a lot deeper dives than I expected today. So that was a nice.
You have to have at least one deep dive every podcast.
I love going in deep.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
I went deep in your mom, so I made her do the same throat sounds.
That's what it sounded like.
She sounded so like
Hi,
those
Mom.
Mongolian throat singers.
Oh yeah. But so Justin,
Dad.
You're grounded.
so Justin, you were a part of this conversation earlier, but you weren't paying attention because you were probably talking. To be
Probably.
honest.
He keeps
But yeah.
like, talking to me, but not in his mic. 'Cause
Me.
He'll hold it, and then he'll talk like, to me over here, and not talking to his mic. But like I can hear you with the headphones.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the?
Oh, so anyway, we're gonna do that. Like we're gonna stop. Like we're gonna be done, and then we're gonna do the other thing after. And then if we had enough time, we were gonna put it together, but we don't. So
Okay.
that's what we're.
So we'll
doing,
start it next
Justin.
week then.
No, we're gonna do it tonight after we're done. Does anything go through there?
Me and Keith figured it out while
for
you
the
were looking at us
conversation.
having the conversation.
He looks upset. Are you upset? I'm just glad you haven't made that face again today. No, I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't that one. That was it. That was it.
What was it?
Yes.
That's not even close. That's not a good
Oh,
one
you got a duck lip.
for sure. But
No. Like that.
no, you were like crinkled up. It was weird.
No, that's not the one. That's not. The
But anyway, yeah.
This is why he doesn't get second dates.
Go see. He doesn't get first dates. So go see Brandon at Artisan Ink.
Yeah, definitely.
Get your inked. Get inked.
It's in the factory in downtown Farmington.
It is.
Anyone who wants to know.
Yeah, don't ask Justin for directions though, because he walked around the building 6 times, couldn't find it. Go get your pizza from Fired. go get your videos from Todd,
Photography.
Pictures.
and then Justin and I. You know,
You get pictures from me.
we just play music. when
Yeah.
we can, and do
Yeah.
podcasts. And
so anyway,
Well,
Notes
I
for
also
Hope.
write
We do Notes
jingles.
for Hope. Go
Jingles?
check out
Yeah.
Notes for Hope.
Notes for Hope. The raffle ends this weekend, so you're
On
not. It's
Saturday?
gonna be it's gonna be over by the time you hear this.
How many entries?
We're up to like, I don't know, a lot more than there were.
And-
A lot more than one.
Hey,
I think we're close to like 30 now.
yeah, and we have
Nice.
a donation button if you
Yes.
want to have your money go towards some cause and you're real big into the mental health and suicide prevention awareness, those are kind of your thing as far as the benefits you like to support. Check out Notes for Hope and donate. We will put your money to good use.
For sure. Yeah. There's so many programs that we want to roll out. We've got the Music Speaks still going, which is giving away a guitar to some kid who could really use it.
Yeah.
To help them kind of get through. It's really cool. So send us your money. So yeah, we can do cooler stuff.
So I guess that's a podcast.
But that's today's podcast, Justin.
That's another episode of Pop Punk Pizza Party Podcast, brought to you by www.betterhelp.com/thebarn. Fired. Space.
whatever business I run.
Yeah, just go see Todd for anything.
Yeah.
Actually, he'll have the elbows back so you can see him for even more soon.
And we'll see you next time.